Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And we are from Group 4. We'll present about rotational molding. Now, this is the list of group members, which is we have Muhammad Aziz Syahmi bin Hassan, Arif Haikal bin Ruslan, Tuan Amir Shah bin Humadi, Muhammad Zahin Muhaimin bin Azhan, Muhammad Arif Najmi bin Nur Hashimi, and last but not least, Arman bin Muhammad Rosan. So, rotational molding is a hollow plastic item made by manufacturing method called rotational molding or rotomolding. Next, a mold-filled plastic powder is heated and rotated until the material unforming cover for the whole or interior surface. We use this method because it can provide high-quality goods with constant wall thickness and is widely employed. Last but not least, I'd like to mention we use usually polyethylene in a common substance because it's a low cost and strong thermal stability.
For rotational molding process, it has four processes, which is number one is loading. Loading is a precise weight of polymer powder or liquid resin is loaded into a hollow cold metal mold. The two or more pieces of the mold are securely clamped shut to prevent material leakage. Secondly is heating. The loaded mold enters a large heating oven, and then the mold begins to rotate simultaneously on two perpendicular axes. And as the mold gets hot, the plastic powder melts and coats the internal walls evenly. The third one is cooling. While continuing to rotate biaxially, the mold moves into a cooling chamber. Air, water mist or combination of both is directed at the outside of the mold, and the molten plastic gradually cools down and solidifies into its final shapes against the inner walls, shrinking slightly away from the mold for easier removal. And lastly, demolding. Once the plastic is completely solid and safe to handle, the rotation stops and the mold is open. The finished hollow part is carefully extracted from the mold, and any flash is trimmed, the mold is cleaned, and the cycle starts over again.
Now, let's focus on the raw materials driving our manufacturing process. As you can see, thermoplastics completely dominate this space, accounting for over 95% of all applications because they can be easily melted and reshaped. Thermosets and elastomer, by contrast, are very rare. Among these thermoplastics, polyethylene is the most prominent, specifically LLDPE, HDPE, and XLPE. Other key materials include polypropylene, PVC, nylon, and polycarbonate. If you look at the pictures on the right, raw plastic usually comes as small pellets. You can easily see the difference between LLDPE, which is clear and flexible, and HDPE, which is solid, white, and stiff. But for processes like rotomolding, regular pellets won't work. They have to be ground down into fine powder like you see in the bottom picture. We need a specific mesh size of 35 or 500 microns, so the plastic melts evenly and gives us a perfect finish.
In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio.
Now we are at part key processing material, which is that engineer detect and control is usually rotational speed, oven temperature, heating time, cooling time, rotation ratio, material type, last but not least, charge rate of amount of plastic material. These parameters will affect four factors, which is wall thickness, surface finish, mechanical properties, and product quality.
Alright, so the example of products for rotational molding. So there are three example products of rotational molding. The first one is kayak or canoes. Next is industrial chemical storage waste, and the last one is water storage tank. So next, proceed to advantage and disadvantage of rotational molding.
Next, I will talk about advantage and disadvantage of rotational molding. For the advantage, rotational molding is ideal for making hollow items like tank, containers, and trays without needing to join parts. And another advantage for rotational molding is uniform wall thickness, no seam or weak joint, can create complex shapes and low material waste. And for the disadvantage of rotational molding take a longer production time because the heating and cooling process take time, so production is lower compared to other method. For the another disadvantage of rotational molding is limited material option, high initial mold cost, less precise thickness control in corners, and suitable for high volume production. And then for the future development of rotational molding is use of eco-friendly materials, automation and smart technology, faster product cycles, improved material variety, and lightweight and high strength products.
So as the conclusion, this rotational molding is cost-effective process for manufacturing hollow plastic products. The reason is the process produce products with uniform wall thickness and also minimal material waste. So it is basically widely used and suitable for water tanks, toys, kayaks, and also industrial products. And the process also offers the flexibility and low mold cost. I think that's all from us. Thank you.